Tonight, Margarito winning a unanimous decision over Quartey, and Cotto beating Quintana. Quintana not coming out after the 5th round. Good victory for Cotto.
One of the strongest punchers pound for pound in the sport, particularly the body, is young Miguel Cotto. Through three rounds, average per round. Quartey 18 out of 66, Wright 24 out of 93. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim, 3 rounds to nothing. 30-26, Ronald Winky Wright. You got to give him an extra point for the knockdown. But you know something, Jim? I don't know. I watched Winky Wright round after round after round. There's something wrong with the guy's bounce. It looks like he's slapping you to death. He's very good at what he does. He wins virtually every round, but the power is not there. I wish he'd sit down and nail this guy. He'd get him out. Anyway, 3-0, Winky Wright.
No, that's not Winky. Winky does not commit to big punches. He does not have mean intentions on his punches. The phrase we've heard so often in the past, he just uses chopping punches, arm punches to pound out victories.
I got to agree with Larry. When a guy goes 7 fights without a knockout, it's a little bit off base to say if he just throws a few more punches, he's going to knock the guy out. He's not that kind of puncher.
In 10 years, 21 fights, 4 knockouts against journeymen. Every other fighter he fought was a decision.
Punches up, Winky.
But he could stop Quartey here, I believe.
Because of the accumulation of punishment.
And because he's just a bigger guy.
Quartey took this fight because it was available to him, because he wanted another fight relatively quickly after frustration of his loss to Vernon Forrest, and because he thinks if he can beat Winky Wright, he might be able to get a rematch with Oscar De La Hoya. That's his holy grail.
And Wright, now not talking about fighting the rematch with Taylor, he's talking about fighting De La Hoya should De La Hoya beat Mayweather in May.
Well, what a shock.
And he's a part of De La Hoya's promotional company now.
Well,
so he's got against the boss.
Well, he's got a separate agreement, unlike the other star fighters. It's not quite the same thing, which his promotion company has an agreement with Golden Boy. He's not a partner in Golden Boy, as, for example, Bernard Hopkins and Shane Mosley and Barrera are.
Round 4 is not terribly different from its predecessors, as Quartey continues to throw left hooks and jabs at close range, mostly the hooks, because Wright's defensive stance makes the jab very difficult. Wright continues to land punches from all angles. Not as heavy as Ike punches. But Quartey, as the result of that second-round knockdown, has a real deficit, probably to overcome on the scorecards.
And they wink at each other at the end of the round.
Relax. The only problem is you have is that keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. And don't think that the right can't get in. The right is getting in. The right is getting in. Just let the right get in. Keep your hands up and let the right get in. You're hitting more than he is, and then when you relax, then he comes in. All right.
Moving now a little bit. Get yourself moving with your hands up.
I want to give it to him.
Take a couple deep ones. Come on. Come on. Not just the jab, the 1-2 with the left hand behind it.
Real quick, real quick.
Winky Wright's face showed damage after his fight in Connecticut with Sam Solomon early in 2006. His face showed damage, or late in 2005, I should say. His face showed damage after the fight with Jermaine Taylor in June, and already Winky Wright has some abrasions and some redness around his face from the difficulty of Ike Quartey's left jab and left hook. But Winky is winning the fight with greater volume of punches and his ability to throw from more different angles.
And he is throwing harder punches in here than we normally see him. He's really trying to make a statement even at this stage of his career when he is so celebrated.
Yeah, Winky is actually fighting now, you know, just the opposite of what he did. If he'd have fought like this when he fought Trinidad, he would have knocked Trinidad out. But he's actually been a busier fighter, more aggressive, volume, everything.
Winky Wright so thoroughly muffled Felix Trinidad in 2005 in Las Vegas The statistics were unbelievable. Trinidad landed 55 punches in a single round in his preceding bout against Ricardo Mayorga. In 12 rounds against Winky Wright, Trinidad was credited with 58 landed punches. I believe he was single digits in every round. It was a wipeout. And of course, typical of many of his decisions, Manny, Wright didn't have to go for a knockout against Trinidad. It was abundantly clear who was going to win.
Yeah, but that was his opportunity to step up and really become a superstar that night. And I'll always say that was a big mistake, because he could hit Trinidad with anything at any time that he wanted to. And he was still satisfied to just land one punch, get a point, and to go back into a defensive mode when Trinidad couldn't do anything to him.
Referee Frank Santori, the warning there. Quartey about his head.
Winky is now doing a little bit more boxing, backing up. Maybe that hard pace has taken a little bit of a toll.
Or maybe he's just mixing things up a little bit, giving Quartey different looks because he can.
But, you know, you look at all of his fights recently, from Solomon, Taylor, and this fight, he's more of a fighter now. He's getting hit a lot more than he's normally in the past. His footwork, his legs, is definitely not what they used to be, by no means.
Well,
he's working now. He's having to work hard to earn his fights.
He's 35 years old. He's had 363 rounds in the ring, Larry.
Yeah, well, this happens to most boxers as they get older. They get a little bit more stationary. They stand and deliver a little bit more because they have to.
Stop, break, let him go. Fight is being fought at a grueling pace.
Take a step back, guys. Box. Time.
On the next Real Sports, we'll take a look at the ever-increasing number of high school football players weighing more than 300 pounds, plus the associated health risks of carrying that much weight.
Count your punches. Don't hold any punches. You are trying to pile up punches. That's what you want. When he lashes out, you give him 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Beat him back. Beat him back to the jab.
Ready? Here you see Winky and Ike bump heads right there. Even though Winky didn't get a cut, you can see from the expression of his face and rubbing his eyes that it really bothered him. And he was concerned about being cut. And therefore, you see the referee giving a warning to Ike, even though I think it was accidental.
Bounty box numbers in 5. Maybe Quartey is beginning to fade. 9 out of 50. His low landed numbers and his low output of the fight. Wright, 21 out of 80. Quartey hasn't yet scratched on the Letterman scorecard. He seemed to me to be on his way to winning round 2 when Winky Wright knocked him down toward the end of the round, and since then it's pretty much been all Winky Wright. Quartey's corner asking him to let 3 punches go at a time. Quartey still throwing mostly 1 at a time. Straight right hand by Quartey. Not a punch in which he has a ton of confidence, but he uses it again and again. Good right hand inside by Quartey, and now he lands a left hook. That was a good little stretch there for Ike Quartey, and now Wright backs him off with a straight left hand. Quartey trying to get to the body.
Ike, watch your head, Ike.
Gotta give a world of credit to Quartey. He's fighting his heart out at the age of 37 against a bigger man.
Good quick left hooks by Quartey, who seems to understand the urgency of his situation, at least in this round.
Yep, and Winky's leaning in close a lot, fighting in close there. Trying to use his weight for the most part, but the fact that he's not a big puncher is really hurting him a lot now, because he's just trying to out-hustle Quartey.
Right landing 2 straight left hands and a right hook there, and Quartey for the moment backs off after having been stronger through the first half of the round. This is why fighters train so hard in the gym. This is why fighters run and deny themselves pleasure for 6 or 8 weeks at a time. This is why conditioning is so utterly fundamental to what you do in boxing. Look at the physical output of what these 2 men are trying to do for 12 rounds.
That's a lot of wear and tear in the body when you fight fights like this.
And the fact that they're 72 years old between them.
Amazing.
Says a lot.
Sometimes just doing a fight like this year, fighters may lose up to 10 pounds of weight, sometimes even 15 sometimes in rough, tough fights like this.
In 45 minutes. And when athletes from other sports come to boxing gyms to try this, almost unanimously, they're stunned. Stunned by what it takes to get through a round. Antonio Tarver has not been in the ring since his loss to Bernard Hopkins last June in Atlantic City.
If you don't count his appearance in Rocky VI.
Coming up Christmas, Antonio Tarver and Rocky VI.
Here you see Ike Quartey going to the body, trying to then move up to the head, trying to find a way to penetrate through the tight defense of Winky. Very difficult to do that, though.
But that was a stretch that was all Quartey, and Wright didn't throw back. There haven't been many of those in the fight, and that's a suggestion that maybe Winky Wright is beginning to tire just a little bit, as Quartey seemed to be tiring in the preceding round. CompuBox numbers in 6. Wright, 26 out of 113. Quartey, 19 out of 62. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, 5 rounds to 1. 59-54, rattled Winky Wright. Jim, I'll tell you, in round 6, Ike Quartey picked up the pace, landed the stronger shots, won the round. I mean, he just kept backing him up, hitting him harder, and, you know, Winky did his thing, but Ike did more damage in the end. So Ike Quartey finally won a round, and, you know, he's starting to pick up the pace a little. Maybe he can get the right. But so far, all Winky Wright on clean, effective punching, and he's the effective aggressor.
And Wright comes out to begin round 7, seemingly aware that maybe he didn't carry round 6, and tries to reestablish himself in the first 30 seconds of round 7 with some resolute punching and letting his hands go aggressively, and now he goes back into the mode that he was in through most of round 6, and Quartey gets his chance to try to land the left hook. Wright keeping Quartey occupied with his jab. The 113 punches that Winky threw in the last round were a career high output for him. A lot of them were light punches.
At this stage now, it seems like Ike Quartey has lost respect for what he may have had a little bit of Winky's punching power in the beginning, and seems to be walking in where he don't even have much fear of Winky's power at all.
And here's another knockdown as Quartey's glove touched the canvas. He put his left glove on the canvas. Quartey looked over here as if to say, what was that? But I believe I saw the left glove touch the canvas, and referee Frank Santora steps in and rules another knockdown for Wright. So it is prohibitively difficult for Ike Quartey to win on the scorecards now as a result of 2 knockdowns by Wright. It more and more appears that Bazooka would need a knockout.
Well, you know, knockdown is a knockdown. Anytime top of your body, other than your feet touch the floor, it's a knockdown.
He's been knocked down twice tonight.
Blow.
He's been knocked down twice tonight, and both times it was more because Wright is just bigger and stronger than that he got hit with something big. They were grappling inside and trading shots with each other, and in both instances, Wright wound up managing to put Quartey on the canvas without really hitting him flush with something big. I say put him on the canvas. In this round, of course, what we're talking about is a glove touching the canvas. I hope the replay is going to show it, because I think I saw it.
Don't spare him, Mike. Don't use your hand. Don't spare him.
Now, Wright, maybe feeling that he's already won the round, is able to buy a little rest down the stretch. Pretty good round for Winky before the knockdown.